So
Parts.
5 months of training, right? 5 months of training, you've revamped your diet. There's no drinking. You're in bedtime by 9:30, 10. You're up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You've had very little sex.
None.
None.
Let's be clear.
For months. So you're ready for the race, right?
As ready as I could be.
Okay. Well, then take us there. I mean, anyone who thinks about an exotic place to be to run a marathon, you picked a good one. So take us to Florianopolis, Brazil, and take us there with images and tell us what was it like the day before the race, the day of the race. Just paint us the picture and share with us what was going through your mind.
So this is where it gets fun for me because it brings back so many great memories. And as you got to this Ironman village, and you just have thousands of people. There's 1,600 people who are doing this race, and you kind of meet people that are doing the same thing. And there's this camaraderie with the group, and an excitement and energy that's almost like caffeine. Just being around these people that have this energy, and as you started to build the camaraderie, we'd have these 2-hour dinners, and there's a range. People are really intense about it and hardcore, and then some people like me were just kind of having fun. And a lot of the people that we met there, you kind of sorted into the right groups. And what was funny is one of my favorite stories that, as we talk about it, is one of the stories that kept coming up at dinner, a conversation that kept coming up at dinner, is that it's really taboo to stop for any reason during the triathlon. And so the story that kept coming back is, well, yeah, but you're drinking, you're hydrating, you're drinking all this water, so you've got to pee sometime, right? And they're like, you don't have to stop to do it. I said, well, wait, what do you mean you don't have to stop to do it? Like, no. If you're on the bike, you just go on the bike. I'm like, how? Don't you in a messy thing? Like, I've got the like my sports bars and stuff that I'm carrying in a little pouch on my bike. I'm like, I don't want my stuff like on that. I wouldn't pee on my food before I'm going to eat it. That sounds stupid. And so I got all the techniques. The guy's like, no. See, if you get your, like when you're tripping on your bike shorts, if you get your junk in the right position, you just have to shift a little bit, and it goes right off behind you. He's like, the guy behind you may get wet, but all your stuff is good. I'm like, awkward. This is dinner, and we're talking about peeing on ourselves? Like, but it came up, conversation, like meal after meal with different people. And so to the point, I'm like, okay, as a guy, I guess you could do that, until we were having dinner with a lady who was doing the event the next day. She's like, oh, yeah, I do that too. I'm like, okay, I understood that, putting your junk and shifting and stuff, but I really don't understand that. And she's like,
not too much detail.
Yeah, you have to get your pelvis in the right fit. And I'm like, okay, let's stop talking about this. But yeah, so that's what apparently Ironman triathlete talk about. In case you want inside the circle of trust, I guess.
So take us to the day of.
But yeah, so the third thing everybody talked about there was the weather, because it rained the entire day before our triathlon, and the forecast was for rain the entire next day. And doing a 12-hour event in rain would suck, especially on the bike, because the roads get slick. You're soaked, and with all the back and forth on the bike, it becomes a miserable experience. So the day of the event, wake up at 3 a.m. to start fueling and hydrating. First thing I do is look out the window. No rain. I'm like, hey, that's a good start to the day. I'll take that. We walk out to the starting line, and it's still dark. Sun's not up yet. But about 10 minutes before the start of the race, the sun comes up. And it is one of the most amazing sunrises I've ever seen. And I was lucky because I told you that my friend Lyda lived up to her promise and came with me on this event. It was my support staff, was my, more importantly, photographer in this situation. Because how else would you capture the beauty of this without an awesome photographer that's there with you? So.